Hey folks, here with Timmy, Steve, Josh. We're on the North Branch. We went up to Berwick. We're gonna run up. There's some, looks like some pretty good rapids up there a ways. We're gonna scoot up. Tomorrow is the first day of the Bassmaster Kayak Series tournament. This is actually in bounds, but I haven't heard of too many people running up this way. Thought we'd check it out. I fished up this way one time, long time ago. It was a high water event. I came up here to get away from what was really blown out down river, and actually caught more walleye than smallmouth. So, but yeah, today's just fun fishing. How's fishing been going so far for you, Tim?
It's been going pretty good. Caught fish, a couple of decent ones.
And you use we got you set up with one of the spin hook.
That's right. It's working. It's working out real good. Yeah.
Staying button.
Staying button.
Cool. Josh, give me some words of wisdom here on the Susquehanna.
Stay away from me and don't watch what I'm doing.
You're on it. You got a bunch of 20s.
Yeah, we'll see. They don't count on Thursday.
I know.
So, you know.
But you got some things figured out.
Yeah.
What baits do you like throwing up
I'd
there?
like to not talk about this because it's going to jinx me.
Okay, we're gonna show.
I'm on a bait.
We're gonna show which. Okay.
I promise you that's not going to help. Definitely on a bait fish pattern. So we'll see. We'll see if they eat. They're either there or they're not there on Saturday. So
cool.
Yeah, should be a good time.
All right.
Go bigger, go
I already
home.
know you've had a good
yeah,
showing here.
good last weekend. I haven't really touched any of that stuff that I covered the past weekend.
Yeah.
So I've just been covering a bunch of water, checking out new stuff, and having fun.
Cool.
I haven't got into too many big stuff, but lots of fish, lots and lots of fish.
Nice.
Yep, it's good
All
stuff.
right. Let's go find them. So I know Josh has got a head start. He's the only one without a motor. I offered to tow him. He's like, nope, I'll make it. We're going up to some whitewater. We saw it on the Google Maps and real ledgy stuff. I know it's one of the more dominant ledgy rocky features in this whole section of the river. So I know there's gonna be some depth around it somewhere. And how much depth I need in a crankbait. I actually got the Bill Lewis MR12 there, but I got the other rod here with the live target. So I'll have two different depth crankbaits at the ready. One for that mid-range and the other for going as deep as 12 feet apparently, which would be nice, you know, to not have to change lures, but just grab that rod instead of this one and be targeting the right depth. So we have had some showers here this morning, some pretty good ones, and it has clouded up a bit since yesterday. I know going into the tournament tomorrow, the weather is going to be, it's going to cool off and it's going to rain. So I'm going to take a look at the Omnia fishing app just to see what we got today. We will click on the map there, and let's layer in precipitation, air temperature. I always like seeing the wind. I might come back later and do water temperature, but let's go ahead and layer that in. And yeah, it's coming in out of the south, so we have the front moving north on us. And let me zoom out here and take a It's kind of yellow color, shows that it's still warm, but yeah, all that air is rushing north. So I just put precipitation and wind in there, and we're coming up on this bridge here, which is right up there. So I'm in the middle of the river there. You can see the wind isn't real strong, but it'll increase in intensity throughout the day coming up this way. But as we zoom out, you can see we got rain like right over there. Wider view. Each of these dots I think are different, like ambassador fishing reports. You know, you can see how someone did on that lake or this section of river or whatever. But yeah, ooh, there's a lot more rain kind of west of us. Yeah, right where all that wind is kind of converging. It's running right up. Interesting. Keeping track of your weather locally is pretty easy, you know, with the Omnia fishing app, because you have so many things you can layer in on what basically looks like a Google map of where you are. That satellite imagery with a lot of different weather and water conditions in one app is nice. You don't have to pop around to multiple different apps. We got a little creek coming out here before we get to the rapids. Thought I'd give a couple casts with a shallow diving crankbait. I can't. Yeah, it is shallow-ish. 3 feet. A lot of leaves. The wind's gonna blow. Having a bait that doesn't catch all the leaves is gonna be sort of frustrating the next 2 days, I bet. Man, hit right at the boat. Oh man, is that a fall fish? Ooh, look at this. Big old musky food. Look at that, fall fish. There's nothing a muskie wants to eat more than this guy right here. It's also good catfish bait. You cut them into like steaks, they just stay on the hook real good. They're oily, stinky, and but they're fun. They fight good. They jump a lot. That one didn't. I caught him right at the boat. So, fall fish. See ya. Took a little bit of splash to the lens coming up through there. I'm hopping out. I'm right at the whitewater. Just gonna wade here for a little bit. Throw the Scented Jerk Shad into that whitewater. See what happens. Downsize to the smaller Scented Jerk Shad. Looks like I downsized my fish. Alright, I bombed a couple long casts with the jackhammer into the whitest of the whitewater. Nothing. I think it's shallow. I think it's really swift and shallow, and a lot of whitewater that has depth is really good for big fish. A lot of whitewater that's super shallow, less so. There could be some big fish in there. I've worked it pretty thoroughly. I'm gonna keep dragging up. We got some old bridge pilings. They look like a series of regularly spaced islands above. I'm gonna drag up through here. I know Steve's back there. He's already started dragging up. I'm in a sort of precarious position here. I'm gonna drag over the ledge and see if I can shoot to this side. have made it above these old bridge pilings or bridge abutments, just regularly spaced. Mostly they're, I think they're originally made with rock crib formations. They do that to make dams, or they did. You can see some of the old timbers in some of these structures. I have not been to this one before, but yeah, that's how they did it. They make almost like the frame of a log cabin and filled it in with big rocks. All right, I started throwing the, oh, don't get caught in there. Get out of there. Throwing the, what's that thing called? The shower blow. The big one. I was throwing the smaller one yesterday. Threw this thing right up against the bank. And that's not that big of a fish, but that's the biggest that I've seen today. Oh, crankbait fish. Relax. Relax. Relax, you dink. Talk to me, Josh. Where are the big fish up here?
Big fish today?
Yes. Where are the big fish up here on the...
Haven't found them yet. Found a lot of tiny ones.
Yeah. What are you catching the tiny ones on?
That's a fluke.
All right. You getting them to eat a spinnerbait?
Yeah, just real small ones. I mean, I think the biggest was 14.
Okay. I just threw some in that whitewater to our right, and I think they were just hitting blades.
Yeah.
The best fish I've seen.
I just got a hit off the wood.
Yeah, I saw you swing on them. The best one that I've seen, I hooked and lost on the crankbait. Just kind of on an isolated boulder out in the middle. There's a whole lot of, I don't want to say nothing looking water, but like 3 foot deep water with pretty swift current and not much in the way of features. Just kind of chunk rock, gravel.
Yeah. The 6 or 14, it came off the end of the grass bed, so we'll see if that replicates this year.
It's a good one.
Seems like we replicated it.
Nice. All right. Spinnerbait pattern. You're near grass.
Yep.
Hold him up.
Little guy.
Nice.
How
Nice.
big?
He's as good as we've seen today.
Mm-hmm. Did we sniff it?
You can sniff it. You should put it on the board just to have reference of what our best fish is so far.
What a 16 and a half inch fish smells like.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do that again.
Maybe I should keep throwing the spinnerbait. I almost took it off to throw the Spro Little John. Gold, huh? Nice.
Jake's secret color.
Yeah. It's just gold. Gold's not a secret. It's just gold.
No, I remember the one you're like, he's trying to explain what color it is, and you're like, it's gold.
Yeah. It's gold.
That's good. Alright.
Dude, that was the very next cast. Alright, I gotta find a gold spinnerbait now. Not the size class of fish that Steve is getting over there. This gold worked, but I'm thinking that gold might be really good. Give it a shot. Keep experimenting. Is it the bait or is it the place? Yeah, I'm watching Steve. He continues to catch on that side where there's some grass and then this kind of fish weir structure. Rattle trap. I did have a lot of fish, like the first time I tied the spinnerbait on, smacking at the blades and not eating it. When that happens, yeah, give him the lipless crank. This one's nice because it's got the spinny. It's not the spinny hooks. The hooks are normal, but the hook hangers have swivels in the body of the plug. Thunderhawk Sargent is the name of this lipless crankbait. Thunderhawk lures. I think they're out of Indiana. Fourth cast with this lipless crank. And, haven't seen him, but he doesn't fight like a dink. I'll say that much. Decent one. Come off the throttle. Drift with this guy. 14 maybe. I think he was harder to pull through the water because I had one in his mouth and one on his side and was pulling him sideways. Sure, I got my numbers bait. This is all working. Big one, huh?
Here we go. What we're after.
Nice. On the fluke.
18 and a half. I don't think that's 19. It might be.
Beautiful.
Pretty North Branch fish.
Yep. Don't.
All right. This is what I've been fishing today. A little nose hook fluke. Pretty simple, weightless.
What's the hook?
It's a 2-aught Gamakatsu wacky
Can you put it in
hook.
my hand?
Yeah, sure.
You got fairly light line.
Yep, that's 12-pound test fluoro.
Okay.
Leader, 20-pound braid. It's I throw that about 80% of the time when I'm out, so it's my confidence rig. And this is what we like to get on them.
You got them clipped on, what do you call that?
Donkey leash.
Donkey leash.
There we go.
Turn them sideways. Beautiful fish. Very nice.
Pretty.
All right, let's get him back in. Changed some things up after watching Josh get his nice one on the fluke, and actually that's probably my best of the day. Put the 7-inch Scented Jerk Shad on and rigged it a little different than normal. I have that redfish eye jig head exposed right there, and I'm burning it, and I put it on the Judge with the hundo, so I have pretty good speed, and I'm really just trying to keep it near the surface, so I don't know, maybe that's the start of something. Oh, that was a big one. Oh, I don't know how I didn't get him. That was 18 plus. Skinny water. Golly. I saw him at the end of the line. Maybe he's got friends in here. It's frustrating. I missed that one, but he did a really common thing that big fish do. They come up from behind it and attack it. They don't T-bone it from the side. They don't take it head on as it's coming towards them. They turn and follow it. They tailgate it. They get right up behind it and they put it in their mouth and they move with it as it's in their mouth, feeling it, pacing the speed that it was going. And if you're going full speed, it's like, yeah, you can't beat that. That's what that fish did. You know, even with the exposed hook, it's like, God, what could I have done? Well, until he turns and deviates from the straight path that bait was on, the straight and fast path that the bait was on, you're not gonna outrun him. You're not even with a hook set. Like the hook set at full speed, I don't have faith in it, even though I do it all the time. Maddening. What could I have done better? Alright, that's a good one. Oh! Oh my... Alright, I've identified a good area. 2 big fish. Ate it. Didn't land them. So I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna actually go right back through there and give them a different bait. One that I really, feel like if I hook them, they're not getting out of there. If you're asking why I'm putting my crankbait on the rod, I just had the Scented Jerk Shad. It's because I broke my other one. The one I just built came up through that rapid, that big one, and lifted the motor. And in the rod holder, the tip was close enough to catch the crankbait swinging. Caught the prop, drew it over to it. It was just sloppy on my part to leave a crankbait back there, where the propeller could get it if it was in the up position. So I only got a couple trips out of that one. I will rebuild it. We'll get another blank, strip whatever components are left on it off, and rebuild. Crankbait fish. I got a few more smalls out of this area, and talked to Josh. He's still getting bigs. He talked about another couple 18s, so he's for sure got the hot hand. I don't know how Timmy has done. It'd be good to check in with him, but it's 10 after 1, and I know that the guys want to get back to the Airbnb and really just prep for tomorrow. Take it easy, not be on the water a full day. It's definitely a strategy. That's why Drew was like, I don't think I'm gonna go tomorrow, and the other guys were like, we'll go, but just not a full day. So time to turn around, head back down. I probably will throw the Scented Jerk Shad back on because I can fish it fast and not have to stop and take this weird mossy stuff off. There's not much there, but I have been wrestling with quite a bit of it. Big clumps usually. So one of the cool things about filming people like Drew just good sticks in general, and I'm with 3 of them today, is that you learn some of their tricks. And filming Drew yesterday, he showed me an interesting way with a double hook, like a frog hook, to rig the Scented Jerk Shad. And in my frustrations today, not getting them on the single, I'm like, how can I do that? Well, I'm putting the quad hook on there. I had to run the line through the bait. It's gonna be interesting to see if this works, but it's, you know, it's probably gonna destroy the bait on the first fish I catch, but it's how you learn stuff. So I'm gonna tighten this up, and I'm gonna show you that I already put a EWG hook through there, right? And now I'm gonna take the body of this and just shove it up in there. Now, if I can lead, if I get a fish to hit this, it's gonna catch leaves where there are leaves, but it's really not that bad up here. I'm just shoving it up in there, and I don't know, what is that gonna do? We're gonna find out. Oh my God. He didn't take the whole thing. That was a big fish. Oh! That was on the quad hook. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So Steve is having success with the 7-inch Scented Jerk Shad on bigs. What he told me is that what he described is basically watching the white of the bait disappear one bite at a time. They grab the tail. I've experienced that. They move some distance with it. I've experienced that. And then the next third of the bait disappears, and he lets them have it. He doesn't speed up to set the hook. He just says, "Oh, good. I'm glad you found it there." See, I tried doing what he did. I think I was a little one. And then when the white disappears completely, that's when he lets them have it. So, oh, like that. Okay. All right. Well, that, I guess, did work, even though he threw that. Oh! He threw the hook. I don't know how he threw this hook. Did I not let him eat it? I don't know. You know, I could have just left well enough alone and said, yeah, the weighted grip pin hook is it. And it isn't perfect either, but it's good. But I just keep experimenting with different things. That big open hook. I don't know that the ones I missed on it were the fault of that rigging. It could just be what he said. You gotta let them eat it certain days. There's some days you throw this thing, you could do no wrong with it. Today is not that day, but they can be caught on it. This one I let him run with it a little bit, and waited to set the hook. Let him go somewhere with it first, and that's just what they need today. Oh, and he's off, but I got him. This is one thing about the quad hook, that it is not at all forgiving when you cast too far. Get out of there. Alright, so usually when I'm burning it, the rod's pointed right at it. But if you high stick it, that's one way to kind of force yourself to maybe even look away, to not. It just forces you to let them take it all the way in. All right, we've made it back down to the big rapid. I think it's time to put this camera away because I'm gonna need it. I just moved a fish out of there. I'm definitely gonna need it. Tomorrow, filming Drew. And if I flip, I gotta make sure I got that camera functional. We wanna stay right. The bigger threat is the bridge piling. It's a really fast, gentle ride on the right side, but it spits you right at that bridge piling, and that's the scary thing. Going to the right of the grass bed? Nope. We're going pretty much center, right here. Alright. Happy. Oh, I thought I was done for the day. And just throwing at some targets on the way back quickly. Because I know the guys are waiting to get back. But, struggle bus has been full for me today, but you know, at least I get to end with a nice one. Thank you. You're pretty. Go home.